Hello student, myself Antara Ghoshal, Assistant Professor of ECE Department of Guru Nanak Institute of Technology. This is my lecture series on RF and Microwave Engineering. The subject course code is EC701 and here my contact number and the email ID is given. If you have any query then you can mail me or contact me. Now, the course name is RF and Microwave Engineering, and the course code is EC701. The total lectures of this course are 34. Now, there are some course objective of this course, that is distinguish the RF and microwave spectrum, planar transmission lines, and high frequency circuit elements. Second is determine the microwave passive components and scattering matrix representation. The third course objective is illustrate the microwave tubes, semiconductor microwave devices. Also justify the microwave application and typical microwave test bench. Now there are some course outcome. That means after completing this course, the student will be able to understand the microwave frequency range and their application, develop fundamental understanding of the two-port RF network and matching techniques, learn the scattering matrix for microwave passive components. Also, they will be able to understand the microwave tubes and devices along with their fundamental principle of operation. Also, they will learn the microwave measurement techniques. In first module, there are different topics. In first, there was introduction of RF and microwave spectrum and the typical application of this RF and microwave in radar and missile, and the safety consideration of this RF. And in the second part there are microwave waveguide, and under this microwave waveguide there are rectangular and circular waveguide and different types of design consideration of this rectangular waveguide, TETM mode, T10 mode analysis, etc. Now, in previous lecture I have discussed about microwave waveguide. Also in previous lecture I have discussed about rectangular waveguide, what is the design procedure and what are the different modes of this rectangular waveguide. And in last lecture I have discussed about transverse magnetic mode of a rectangular waveguide. Now today we will discuss about transverse electric mode of a rectangular waveguide. In the previous lecture that was a transverse magnetic mode. This is a transverse electric mode. Now in this TE mode, that is transverse electric modes, the electric field is transverse or normal to the direction of propagation. Now if we said that Ez equal to 0 and determine other field components, that E X, E Y, H X and H Y, and Y and Hz from the previous equation, and if we apply the boundary condition which we have done in for TM mode, then we can find that all other field components, and the boundary conditions are obtained from the fact that the tangential components of the electric field must be continuous across the boundary of the waveguide. That means at the walls of the waveguide. From that boundary condition, we can write that Ex is equal to 0 when y equal to 0 and y equal to b. And also we can write that EYS equal to 0 when x equal to 0 and x equal to a. Now if we apply that boundary conditions, we can write that uh, in previous lectures we have done that all this we have done in previous lecture. If we use all these equation and apply the boundary condition, then we can write that E del H, that it was E x is equal to minus j omega mu by h square del H z s by del y. And if we apply the boundary condition for these two equations, then we can write that del H zs by del y equal to 0 at y equal to 0 and y equal to b. Also del h zs by del x equal to 0 when x equal to 0 and x equal to a. And if we impose the boundary condition, then we can write that from this we can write that EHZS equal to H0 cos n by x by a into cos n by d by y into e to the power minus gamma z. Here that H0 equal to B1 B3. Then other field components are easily obtained from this equation, and the previous equations which I have uh, discussed in last part. Now these all are the other field components, that is Ex, S, Eys, Hxs and Hys. Ex is equal to this, that minus j omega mu by h square into del h z by del y. And from that, if we uh, substitute this equation by that h, zs and ez, then we can write that E x is equal to this, and also E y is equal to this, h x is equal to this, and h y is equal to this. Now where that m equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and more, and n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Now h and the h, that h and gamma, that are defined for the TM modes, that h equal to there was an equation, and also for gamma there was an equation, and m and n denote the number of half cycle variation in the x and y cross section of the waveguide. Now if we consider that if TE32 mode, for example, then the field configuration will be like this. And the cutoff frequency, that is fc, the cutoff wavelength, that is lambda c, the phase constant, that is beta, and the phase velocity and the wavelength for that, for this TE mode are the same for the as for the TM mode. Now for TE mode, that m comma n, that is maybe either 0 1 or 1 0, but not 0 0. Both m and n cannot be 0 at the same time, because that will force the field components which are shown in this equation, all this equation, that will be vanished. And this implies that the lowest mode can be TE10 or TE01, which depends on the values of A and B, that is the cross section area of the rectangular waveguide, that is the dimension of that waveguide. And it is a standard practice to have that A greater than B, so that 1 by A square less than 1 by B square. Okay. Now this TE10 is the lowest mode, because if we consider that FCTE, then that will be equal to U dash by 2A. That means if we write that FC for TE mode will be equal to U dash by U prime by 2A, that less than equal to FC, that is TM10, and this is for FC TE01, and that equal to U prime by 2B. And this mode is called as dominant mode, that is dominant mode of that waveguide, and the frequency of cutoff frequency for the TE10 mode is obtained from all these equations, that m equal to, if we apply that m equal to 1 and n equal to 0, then FC equal to CMN equal to U dash by 2 root over of m by a whole square plus n by b whole square. That was the for same expression for the TM mode, and that is also applicable for TE mode, cutoff frequency of TE mode. And for TE mode, m vary maybe 0 1 or 1 0, but not 0 0. And the dominant mode of this mode with lowest cutoff frequency. Now we can say that the cutoff frequency of the TE10 mode is lower than that of TM11 mode. Hence, we can say that TE10 is the dominant mode. And if more than one mode is propagating, the waveguide will be over-moded, and the single mode propagation is highly desirable to reduce the dispersion. And this occurs between cutoff frequency for TE10 mode and cutoff frequency of next higher order mode. The phase constant of that is beta of that TE mode is same as the TM mode, that is beta equal to beta prime root over 1 minus FC by FL whole square, where that beta prime equal to omega by u prime that is equal to omega root over mu epsilon, and the intrinsic impedance of that transverse electric mode that is equal to eta Te equal to x by hy, that is equal to, also we can say that this is equal to e is equal to minus of e y by h x. Okay. Also, you can write that eta Te equal to S by Hy and equal to minus of Ey by Ha, that is equal to omega mu by beta equal to root over mu by epsilon into 1 by root over 1 minus Fc by Fr whole square, and that eta Te equal to eta prime by this, where that eta prime equal to root over mu by epsilon. Now, if we write that eta Te into eta Tm that is equal to eta prime square, and from that we can write this, and we know that eta Tm equal to eta prime root over 1 minus Fc by Fn whole square. And this, from these two equations, that eta Tm and eta Te, they are purely resistive as they vary with frequency. And for that rectangular waveguides, what is the phase velocity? That phase velocity is defined as the velocity with which the wave changes phase in terms of the guide wavelength, that is Vp equal to lambda g into f, and that Vp equal to c by root over 1 minus fc by fr whole square. And what is the group velocity? The group velocity of a wave is defined as the rate at which the wave propagates through the waveguide, that is Vg equal to d omega by d beta, and the product of this phase velocity and the group velocity is equal to the square of the velocity of light, that is Vp into Vg equal to c square. And the attenuation constant due to the losses in this dielectric, which is obtained as follows, that gamma equal to j beta, that is equal to j root over k square minus kc square equal to jk root over 1 minus fc by fa whole square, that is equal to this. This is the attenuation constant, and after some multiplicative manipulation we can get that alpha d, that is equal to this. In next class we'll discuss about what is the impedance of that rectangular waveguide and many other parameters of this rectangular waveguide.